All right, so this is going to be a reading for Sagittarius. And for the Sagittarius that I'm speaking to today, there may have been something that felt like a wish fulfillment, that felt like all your dreams come true, everything was working out here. And then all of a sudden you realize, like, oh, this actually isn't what I thought it was. I need to close this out. Or that cycle just came to an end. And that comes through as very heavy for you and pretty heartbreaking, honestly. And so there's quite a bit of changes here going on for you with the Wheel of Fortune in the center of your reading. And I'm going to dive into that in a second. But before I do, I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for receiving this reading. If you would like a personal reading, I do offer personal readings, and you can email me. My email's down below in the description box. But also, if you'd like to contribute your energy to the channel, to help me manifest messages that resonate more for you, you can like and subscribe. But let's get into it, Sagittarius. So I'm seeing your oracle cards today are rebirth, experiencing, and innocence. So again, I'm seeing that whatever is kind of closing out here for you may have felt kind of sudden, or it may have brought about a change that you weren't even expecting. And with the rebirth card, I see you having a new beginning, being born again, stepping into a new cycle of your life. And as you do that, just like a newborn baby or a young child, you experience the innocence of that new exploration period, that curiosity moment, that adventure, that feeling of opening up after you've been born, basically. So it's a good energy to be in, especially if you can consciously step into that energy and harness it. I do see you also dealing with some heavier energies of disappointment, of heartbreak. So both of those things are going to exist here. Now, in the recent past, you show me you were really working on putting yourself first. And there was someone who was really important to you also, someone close to you, who maybe it felt like they could have been a bit of a younger energy, they could have been kind of slower moving, and it could have felt like at times they were a little bit emotionally unavailable. And then they would kind of just like pop up again, but like actually connecting with this person looks like it could have been a bit of a challenge, but you're showing me I wanted to work on it. I was interested in working on it with them because it made me happy, or it was important to me, or it's just what I was invested in. There could have been this feeling, though, of it did feel like work. And there was this question of, is this really flowing naturally? Does this really feel good? Because I do see you at times wondering, like, what's going on here? Maybe feeling confused, maybe being stuck in your head, or having some limiting beliefs come up, maybe being a little bit triggered, or feeling just left in the dark in general with this, and maybe feeling like it took a lot of effort to kind of untangle the situation or understand where you stood within it. When it came to being happy and feeling fulfilled and seeing the truth of this situation, there could have been something that your higher self, your intuition, was trying to show you, but either you weren't seeing it or you didn't want to see whatever the truth was in this situation because it was difficult, or it conflicted with what you thought to be true about this situation in the first place. This is coming through as a really important connection to you, something maybe that you prioritized, but also maybe something that couldn't come through as consistent as you would like it to, or maybe was really based in like attraction or just kind of feeling good, but not really that stability, that consistency that you kind of needed. This could have been a bit of an immature energy that even when it did show up, it kind of showed up in a less than desirable way. And so I see you kind of making changes in that situation. Let's take a look at that connection. Again, there's this feeling of always looking for the other person's effort, of wondering, do they even care? Are they even showing up for me? Can I really trust them? And it almost comes through as like a bait and switch energy of like a lot of the time this feels really good in a lot of ways, but then a lot of times there's this feeling of I don't know if I can actually trust them to show up. They kind of like, even though you show me like desiring them a lot and them being really important to you, like maybe they're really slow to come towards you, to put in the effort that you're needing. Maybe they were kind of emotionally unavailable or emotionally immature, and that kind of led you to kind of doubting the energy and wondering like, are they really going to show up? Like, are they really in this with me as much as I'm in it? Ultimately, it could feel like it's time to take a break from this situation, like you need time away. And it doesn't come through as ultimately permanent right now. It could just be a moment of space between the two of you. And it comes through as pretty difficult for you. There could be some pain or hardship over even just taking some time away from this. Um, but there's a feeling of kind of that's what I need to do, so I'm doing it. But it definitely presents quite a change to what this energy was, where it was moving forward in a certain direction for better or for worse, and now it's definitely shifted into something else. The wheel has kind of turned. And there could be this feeling of, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to keep connecting with this energy or where we're going to be when we get to the other side of this break moment. And it could make you feel a little bit out of control in a way. But there's a effort to basically take back your sense of empowerment in this situation, and not let the connection entirely, control how you feel or the pace of your life, that kind of thing. And it kind of looks like in the future you're going to have to make a more final decision about this. And that's what I really see weighing in your mind is, okay, like when this comes back around or when this break period ends, like what am I going to do here, essentially? You're showing me that you're feeling like ultimately the best thing to do in this situation is to walk away. Like for my security, for my sense of well-being, for my long-term sort of life path, the best way to go is to move away from this because it just isn't feeling as stable as I need it to be. It's almost like you're understanding that in the path of your life and what would work best for you, this isn't going to lend to your stability, to your forward movement. There's a sense of this could even hold me back from receiving what it is that I do want because this isn't it at the end of the day. But there's this feeling of like maybe not wanting to look at the truth of that, which is this just isn't good for me. And there's a part of you that could feel like really attached to this situation, and that's leading you to avoid the truth of how it's making you feel. Not entirely, because I do see you actively contending with it. I do see you realizing, okay, this does need to come to a close. I need something that's more reliable. But it also is very difficult for you to fully accept that because you did love this or you did enjoy it. Or, when we talk about rebirth, there's also the life that you lived before you were reborn, right? And so there could be a certain attachment to that life that you had before this next life that you're stepping into, in a sense. And so there's a need to kind of release yourself from the path that you thought you were on in order to embrace the path that you're about to be on. There are things about this connection that, again, didn't feel stable and didn't make you happy, and you could be so focused on the parts of this connection that you were committed to or that did feel good that you're not seeing that there's actually so much happiness waiting for you on the other side when you start to prioritize yourself a little bit more, and when you depend less on this energy to make you happy, you're going to find a lot more fulfillment in yourself. I see you ultimately, the advice from the universe is stepping into your power, putting yourself first over this connection and communicating with this energy how it is that you feel, the truth of your situation, and moving on from there. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope that this helped. I hope that this resonated, and I'll see you next time.